The DX Ahsoka. One of those figures announced in 2021. Unprecedented right now. A low stock warning on one of those even before the final production photos were announced. What an historic, and I mean historic week when it comes to Star Wars Hot Toys. You want to talk about a curveball, because nobody saw this coming with this DX Ahsoka from The Mandalorian. Will it happen with the Casca? Will it happen with the Fennec? Can it happen with the Luke from The Mandalorian? I've already talked about how it's going to happen with the DX25 Luke Skywalker. This week, unprecedented. Grand Inquisitor, gone. Reva, goodbye. Collector's edition of DX28 Darth Vader, gone. Been talking about that for a month already. Get ready for the last version to also be gone very quickly, followed by the DX27 Obi-Wan Kenobi. You see the clone trooper here on the banner. That's already gone. I've got the Wizard Juice right here. This is almost gone. Let's go ahead and dive into all of this right now. All right, and welcome everybody to another episode of Aries Tarrington's Drunk on Coffee and Wizard Juice, right here at Aries Cantina, home of 6-scale Cantina. Please go ahead and smash that like button. I so do very much appreciate your support. And hey, while you're at it, please also go ahead and subscribe to the Cantina. Again, thank you so much for your support. Got to go off a little bit here from the regular, way we do Aries Tarrington's Drunk on Coffee, because of the absolutely insane news when it comes to Hot Toys, when it comes to pre-ordering Hot Toys right now. Absolutely historic. Look, let's just face it. What's going on with this Ahsoka? Nobody saw this coming. Nobody saw this coming. This was one of those figures that was officially announced in 2021. April 2021, I believe. And many of those figures right now, when it comes to Star Wars Hot Toys, they're very heavily discounted within the secondary market. Sometimes upwards of 50% or more discounted from its retail price. That in and of itself is absolutely historic with all those new releases. It's coming out of COVID. It's in the middle of this very bad economic climate. And there's just not a whole lot of money, a whole lot of cash to go around right now. Which means that a lot of the cash that would go into expendable income for a lot of things like collectibles, it's just going into essentials, into necessities. That's just the reality of what we're living in right now. Week after week, I am showing you different types of data, different types of things that kind of back up that point that I'm showing you. And when you look at stuff like this within the secondary market for Star Wars Hot Toys. It's very, very telling. A brand new figure, an artillery stormtrooper, $122. $122. I mean, just digest this. The Armorer with the Mandalorian. Actually, I'm recording this here on a Wednesday evening. It's going to be coming out tonight, baby. I absolutely can't wait. But just $153 from February 23rd? Brand new? And exclusive? Boba and the Throne? And I just got Boba in the Throne. I did my crazy fracking unboxing. If you're a Cantina insider, if you're a member of the channel, you got to watch that crazy unboxing I just did. Just what, 2.5 weeks ago. And you know what that goes for. And not $390. And you're seeing it with stuff like this over and over and over again. It is just absolutely, absolutely insane. You could take a look. Let's just keep going to more. I mean, the winning bid was $83 for Grogu. A hot toy. A hot toy. $83. $83. Ray's an awesome seller. You guys see some of the stuff he has up there right now. He's got an Emperor in the Throne, Leia Hoth. Go check him out. It's look at this. Here's the Mandalorian, quarter scale, 600 and what? $5 or whatever it is. $381. New. Eggs are expensive. Gas is expensive. Inflation really, really hurt people. And like I mentioned in the latest episode of the Market Chart Show, certainly seems like it's leveling off. But it's not like it's diving back down to where it was. It's just, for the most part anyway, not just continually rising up. That still doesn't help. People are trying to cope. People are trying to scramble to make ends meet. And you have to wonder, is it possible that that is why we're seeing this unprecedented, historic news on the pre-orders with the Ahsoka, with the DX Ahsoka? And I say yes. We have to see if this holds, because I almost don't believe it. And a big part of me thinks it'll just get back in stock, because Crow Mandalorian's in stock. Both versions. Hunter's in stock. Echo's in stock. The other Ahsoka Clone Wars is in stock. Why isn't she in stock? Now, there's a couple of possibilities as to why. But why isn't she? Well, is it possible, because of stuff like this, that a move was made, a call was made, a concession was given to be able to lower what the purchase orders were, or to be able to greatly reduce what was anticipated or what was desired for the safety stock? Sure. Sure, that could be the reason. You know, I think we have to get out of our heads. You know, are these just for FOMO? You know, is this just to get you to pre-order it and it's going to be the same? And the reason I say that is I think that argument's over. These aren't selling. Now, it did sell. These do sell. They sell greatly. But especially while there was juice to be squeezed, there was a lot of juice to drink. And no matter how good the orange is, or how big the grapefruit is, or how scrumptious the grapefruit or the orange is, you could only squeeze it so much until it is dry. And no matter how much you want to spend money on collectibles, and no matter how much you want to be able to have a collection as big as one of your other channel creators that you really love that have a giant collection, or your friend Johnny's collection, or your friend Jane's collection, or Susie's collection, or John Doe's collection, or whoever the heck's collection it is, there's only so much money right now where you can go ahead and do that because it's just not available. And when it's not available, and there's no money, after the juice is squeezed, I don't know about FOMO. You can't let go of my ego because there is no more ego. There is no more FOMO. Because there's no money. Let me tell you about the cat being out of the bag and the boy who cried wolf. If you ever heard that little story when you were a kid. If every single figure from here until the end of time that is released is always going to be at this price eventually, why in the heck would you not wait to save 50%? I understand. There's people who have a lot of money, and that's great. And I guess if I had all that, I wouldn't wait either. There's not a problem with that. I'm just saying, for the most part, a lot of people would wait. They would just wait. You wouldn't be able to sell it at the retail price because you're going to be able to get it at a lower price. New. If a brand new Corvette came out and it was $100,000 or whatever it is, but you knew that brand new, if you just waited a year, you could get it for $50,000. You'd wait the year. Of course, then again, if money was no object and you wanted it right now, you don't have to. But I'd wait the year. You can't operate that way. Was a concession made here? You know, there's so many ways that this could happen. Nobody really knows. Maybe it was split up into 2 productions. Maybe there's going to be one now. Waitlist. Months down the road, a year down the road, sometime down the road, comes out again. It's possible, right? Maybe they reissue this. Maybe it's just a first batch. Possible, right? Didn't they used to make a lot of their different batches of these? Maybe it's the first batch, low stock warning. Maybe it'll come back. Like I said, I haven't seen it. This happened with any figure prior to figures announced in 2022. There's so many possibilities with this. We'll have to keep an eye on it. Like I was stating during a 6-scale Raw just a few days ago. I couldn't believe it. This was happening live. Jay Brother Cousins was on. Lane Kramer was on. And Unprecedented. But I'm going to keep an eye on it to see if it stays that way. Wouldn't shock me either way. But one thing I can tell you that is completely a reality is the global economy right now. And what I'm showing you on the screen. There's no pump fake here. This is the reality of what we're dealing with. Once the juice is squeezed, once it's put into the glass, then you kind of let it sit, and then you can squeeze a little more and squeeze a little more. Once it gets in there, there's just no more. Because there's not, from what I'm seeing, a whole lot of collectors coming into any hobby right now because of the economy. Star Wars is hotter than ever. Marvel is really hot. No matter what kind of collectible you're into, especially when it comes to toys, everything right now, everything is 100% a buyer's market, not a seller's market. You got sellers absolutely sitting on some high-end pieces that they do not want to sell right now because they're going to have to sell it at a discount for the most part. And many times in economies like this throughout history, this is a great time to stock up on antiquities because you're going to get a good bargain if you've got the money to do it. That's what I was also talking about in my last episode of the Market Value Chart Show. If you didn't get a chance to watch it, I don't usually say this, but I strongly recommend watching it. It was an epic show, and I dive into that. Is now the time. If you have figures out there that you really want, and they're really discounted, and you've got the money, and you just haven't done it yet, should you get it right now while they're in stock? Yes. Because it's, in my view, not going to continue. This will not continue. How do you make this not continue? You don't make as many of these. That's how you stop this from happening. Is that what's happening with this Ahsoka? And I say, yes. That's what it appears like to me. And am I happy about it? You bet your arse I am. And I also talked about this in my last market chart show. I think the collectability, even the best car Mandalorian, both of those. Oh, should I buy those? Yeah. Give it 5 years. Give it 10 years. They will absolutely be worth some money. Some of them will be Grails. Because you're going to have thousands upon thousands of new collectors that are going to discover Hot Toys by then for sure. Especially when the economy turns around. Not just levels off, but turns around. You know, goes on an uptick. You will have many collectors jumping in. Just like what happened during COVID. Just like what happened during COVID. When a lot of things were shut down. And people were looking for other things to do inside their homes. And they discovered collecting was one of the things that many people discovered. And a lot of money was being spent on these things back then. And in a way, that can happen again in the future once the economy starts turning around. And for many people, expendable income starts becoming a reality or starts increasing to a point where they can jump into a hobby such as this. And with the popularity of what's going on Disney Plus and quite frankly all the licenses that Hot Toys owns is only going to take a lot of these older figures. There may not be enough juice right now, but there could certainly be more juice in the future. Juice has all been squeezed on a lot of these. Was something adjusted on the production numbers for this to be able to stop this? We'll have to keep an eye on it. But it's absolutely unprecedented, and I hope to God this is real. Because that means when I buy this figure, if it's on Waitlist, it's going to be just like the heavy infantry Mandalorian, or just like the arena suit Boba Fett, or just like the chrome-plated Chrome Trooper, or just like Rey and Dio, even though that actually got in stock, but only for 20 days. As soon as it gets into the secondary market, it's at least worth the retail value. And again, I'm not complaining that the other ones are not worth the retail value, but you have to give it some years before you get the resale value. Nonetheless, as soon as I take this baby off the showroom floor, this Ahsoka, this Clone Wars this clone trooper, from the 20th anniversary packaging, it's going to have that instant collectability right off the darn bat. Let's pause for some wizard juice. FOMO? Or reality? FOMO? Or reality? FOMO? Low stock warning. FOMO? Really, like, answer it. Or reality? And don't get me wrong, there's so many Hot Toys figures, from Jyn Erso to any of the Han Solos, to any of the Lukes, to any of the Leias, and not just OT figures, to any of the Obi-Wans from Revenge of the Sith, or any of the Anakins from there, or any of the Rogue One figures, okay, or any of the top-tier Reys, Last Jedi, or especially the Rey Dio. They're all going for buku bucks. It's about the amount of quantity. It's about the squeeze in the juice. If there's too much... But why? Why is that the fact areas? Because there's a simple truism that you need to understand. Low supply equals high demand. High supply, an overabundance of supply, enough water to drown myself in, not a whole lot of demand. Unprecedented. With this Ahsoka Tano, I am absolutely over the moon joyed that this is going on. And how long has this been on pre-order anyway? For like 10 years? So, like, you have plenty of time to get the figure. We'll have to see if this stands. If it does, before I get to the next segment of this show, tying into this, if this stands, you're not going to want to miss this, baby. So, here's a couple of reasons why you should join the channel. It's very, very cheap. It's cheaper than a dozen eggs. I don't charge multiple tiers. And if you're looking to support the channel, it's a great way to do it. And then if you don't like it, you don't have to go ahead and join it. You try it. Put a lot of time into it. You got some great shows. And here's a show that's going to be coming out. It's going to be out Friday morning. Soon to be sold out. And you see both Lukes. I'm going to do a deep dive. Data. Analytics. Plus wizard power. Should we be thinking about our beloved Luke? And all you got to do, click on the little join button, see everything that it comes with. You can go to 6scalecantina.com. You can see all the little banners up there. You not only will you get this show, you'll get prior shows, all the prior shows, all kinds of cool stuff. You'll be able to sit there for hours upon hours and upon hours checking out the 6 Scale Cantina library of all the fun stuff that I've done on there. Little plug for my membership. Well, this is Luke, Aries. That's not going to happen. Ahsoka's what? She's the KX Enforcer droid? All of a sudden, Ahsoka didn't break the internet both times. All of a sudden, she's not popular? No. Again, do I need to pull up the couple of auctions I just did again? It's all about the money. Jedi mind tricks don't work on Hot Tots. Only money. We're going to keep an eye on this. How many of you have decided to pre-order her that didn't yet? I'm getting mine from Ray at Hawk Wars Toys. So, you know, join the waitlist, Reva. Will Hot Toys hold its value? It will on that Ahsoka. Very, very quickly, actually. As soon as it comes out, if it actually hits waitlist like this Reva. Just like the chrome-plated Chrome Trooper, which is holding its value and rising a little bit, if this is a reality, it says it is, it's absolutely going to hold its value. And I actually think this one's going to be a grail. Because that head sculpt is back. So's this one. Gone. Waitlist. I'm going to show you one of the most expensive figures probably in Hot Toys history. I'm going to pull that up right now. Before it even happens. Wizard prediction. So, wow, look, Aries, this is in stock. Oh, this is the last version. The other three are gone. We knew the other two of them were those stupid ticker things, so we all know that happens. Not that they're stupid, but you know what I mean. It's just they're on and that's it. Collector's Edition. Join the wait list. Went with Reva. Went with the Grand Inquisitor. And I'm telling you right now, not a whole lot of time on this. And I could actually see this evaporating into a quick, wait list without even a low stock warning. I would not sleep on this figure. If this goes waitlist, like the collector edition, it is Darth Vader. It is a Hayden Christensen head sculpt, a half of one, mind you. You want to talk about Dark Side Anakin being high in the secondary market? Oh, my goodness. Collectability? Hot Toys value in the future? Yeah. We already know they hold their value with so many of the figures. And even with the straight-up reissues, they hold their value. You know, I could talk about the Attack of the Clones Yoda. That was just a straight-up reissue. Unlike the Heavy Infantry Mandalorian, which has a little bit lighter of a paint app, it has the shield. And I think it has an extra hand or a couple of hands or some stuff. Some crap. The Yoda from Attack of the Clones is a straight up reissue. And now that they've reissued it, listen very carefully, it's worth more than once it was than when it first was out of stock. Why? Because of what I've been saying on the show all along. Because more collectors jumped into this hobby. More collectors discovered Hot Toys. The success of The Mandalorian was just starting to be realized. And I could take that a step further because, especially in Asia, right now, Grogu is starting to become the biggest thing over there. If that really takes off over there, my goodness. As more and more people jump into these, you want to talk about, forget about where that Attack of the Clones Yoda is going to be, but where this Vader is going to be. And there'll be so many collectors coming in the future, they could straight up reissue some of these, and it really wouldn't affect it. Especially if they're going to continue with what I believe they have been exercising. More and more announcements with less production on those announcements and more 2.0 / reuses of molds. I.e., the arena suit Boba Fett. I.e., the chrome-plated Chrome Trooper. Crap, they were doing it before the economy in this thing with the vintage color Boba Fett and the animated Boba Fett. It's sure as heck going to happen on a much more at a higher level now. Especially as the popularity continues to increase on all these IPs. But the available money to be able to spend on these type of collectibles decrease at the moment. But I really feel like they have discovered a real, an even better way to be able to generate interest, excitement, and also probably profits. I mean, pulling up Reva, you have a much better shot of, if you put out a different version of Reva, whatever version that's going to be, much better shot of selling a few thousand of those than trying to sit on a few thousand of these. It'll just sit there. It'll for sure sit there. Like this is sitting there. And whether it's Mando, whether it's Reva, whether it's Quill, whether it's the armorer, whether it's an artillery trooper, or even if it's Boba Fett, it doesn't matter about the popularity. It matters about once the juice is squeezed, it's squeezed. Whoever has the money has it at that point. If it's not there, it's not there. It's not going to be spent. It'll only be spent at a much, much less rate. Much less rate. Will Hot Toys hold their value? 100% they'll hold their value. 100%. They're the most amazing toys I have ever seen. And when people get a load of these, they're like, holy moly. It's amazing. And it's addictive. But until more collectors come in, and anything could be as popular as it could be. You could have another end game. They can announce... they could announce whatever they want. The money is not there for these type of collectibles. As the economy turns around, the money will be there. And the people will start jumping in. Pause for Wizard Juice. It's almost all gone. That's it. Wizard Juice just went on waitlist. Again, what does this mean? What does this mean for these guys? You're not going to want to miss this episode coming up here for members, insiders. All you have to do, besides believe, is join the channel. You're not going to want to miss, in addition to that, this weekend's upcoming market show. So much I'm going to dive into that with that show. You're not also going to want to miss my 6-scale Raw next Monday, talking about The Mandalorian, which I can't wait to see tonight. Unless I fall asleep, then I'll see it tomorrow morning. The debut episode of the Mando Season 3. Is it possible that we're probably going to get drunk on coffee or spill coffee over some of the craziness we're going to see from Favreau and Filoni? How about some stuff from Hot Toys? Are we going to get anything more from them? Are they going to wait till... Are they going to dispatch some of these throughout the season? Or at the end of the season? I have a funny feeling we are going to get absolutely hammered when it comes to Mandalorian figures for the Mando Season 3. And I, for one, just can't wait to see what's in store. I don't always buy Wizard Juice out. But when I do, I sell out of it and put it on waitlist. Oh, wait. Another batch. I just had to throw it in. Stay thirsty, my friends.